Hey, everybody, this is Tell the Truth Sports Radio. I'm going to tell you the truth about college football and the NFL. All right. What you see on the screen is Michigan versus Ohio State logos because that's the biggest game. That is the game of all games this week. Usually, and I love the SEC, but usually I'll say, okay, it's Alabama, Georgia, Alabama, Florida, Florida, Georgia, or wherever. But this is the big game. Ohio State versus Michigan for a chance probably to be in the playoffs. You are assuming that the winner of this team will beat a game, a well-coached Wisconsin team, not as good, not as talented as Michigan, Ohio State. But let me break this game down. Styles make fights. Which style prevails in this game? Will it be the track meet and the style of Ohio State, where they're up and down? They got 3 NFL wide receivers. Stroud is playing a lot better. Or will it be Michigan with their pass rush? And this is the key for me. The key for Michigan is to change the style and pace of the game. The game has to be different from the standpoint of Aiden Hutchinson and David Ajaba coming off the edge constantly. And you got to have interior pressure, of course. But Stroud, when he struggled against against Minnesota and Oregon and even Nebraska, they got to him a little bit. And he's not the type that's good off schedule. On schedule, he's going to light you up. If he's on schedule and they get the lead, they get that fast break offense going up and down, up and down the field, 28-0, 35-0, 42-7, and all that. They like that style. And then the defense can pin their ears back, and we're going to stop Michigan. And, the game's got to go a little slower. The game has got to be physical. Oregon had a physical feel to it. Of course, they had Vardell, which ran all over Ohio State. Can Haskins run over? He's got over 1,000 yards. Can he run over Ohio State? You just need McNamara to be solid. I don't think Harbaugh learned his lesson of being stupid, not put 2 quarterbacks in. You let McNamara he's got to make those 3rd and 10, 3rd and 6. Keep Ohio State's offense off the field. Make those plays. Everything, you got to be accurate. You don't have to be perfect, but you got to be accurate. Cornelius Johnson's got to eat. You got to get him the rock on the major downs, because Ohio State, they're gonna Travion Henderson can run the ball pretty good, so he can run it now. He almost has 1,100 yards rushing on the year. They make their bones passing. 60% of the time they throw the football. Michigan has got to win the time of possession, and the game has got to be in the 24 to 30 range, between 20 and 30. It can't be past that, and you're trying to play catch up. You can't chase Ohio State. You'll get crushed. I'm banking on this. I'm not saying Michigan's going to win. Michigan, here I go again. I talked myself into believing that I'll never put my faith in Michigan again, but I got this feeling and this hunch at the big house. This game's going to be close. So I'm going to do it again. Let's see what happens. Come Saturday afternoon, will I look like a blithering idiot? Or will I look like a guy that knows what he's talking about, that's doing a sports podcast that's covered sports for 20 years? Let's see. We will see. But I got that game close. Now, the next game is Alabama, the Iron Bowl, Alabama and Auburn. I'm going to tell you something about Alabama and Auburn. Alabama's going to be the favorites. People believe Auburn could give them trouble or ruin their season for a couple of factors. You got to hope that TJ Finley, who's been up and down his career, is up. And Auburn has 31 seniors on senior day that want to go out a winner, and they want to ruin Alabama's season. They have to be mistake-free. They don't have nicks. Higsby's got to run it a little because now you kind of could run it a little bit against Alabama. You got to get Shedrick Jackson the ball deep. So if you run it, you got to take chances and go deep to put points on the board because Alabama is going to put points on the board. As good as solid as Auburn's defense is, Bryce Young is an amazing. He's one of the best freshman quarterback I've ever seen in my life. Guys, 38 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. They're almost 3,600 yards passing. I mean, come on. But what Alabama's got to do is Brian Robinson's got to give you chunk in between tough yards, 4 yards here, 5 yards here, 6 yards here. So Bryce Young could go back there and navigate. Bryce Young is one of the better young quarterbacks I've ever seen at processing the first, the second, the third, even the fourth read. And he's good at running, but he's good at running and throwing the ball on the run. He's smart. He's a smart runner. And their offense is serious. I mean, they're 9th in yards per game in the country. Third down efficiency, they're 2nd in the country. So Auburn wants to get them off the field on 3rd down, but it's not going to be that easy. I like Alabama, but this is going to be a tricky game because they don't have the best history recently of walking into Auburn. Auburn has a good history of coming in there, clipping Alabama, and pulling off an upset here and there. And Alabama has been a little vulnerable defensively. Robinson and those guys got to come to play. He's got to make plays. They got to. They have to, between now and Georgia, they got to kind of shore up some things and clean up some things defensively. And they got to stop the run. They got to stop. They better stop him because that would be trouble. And they got to run it. They got to control the line of scrimmage a little better. Alabama teams have always controlled the line of scrimmage, but we're talking about a team that's very young because they lost a ton of NFL talent. They got a future NFL left tackle. He's young. The quarterback's young. The defense is young. But I'm going to pick Alabama in a close game to go see Georgia. Georgia fans, listen, Georgia fans doing a lot of talking, doing a lot of yapping. Okay, you're talking, but you better beat Alabama. You're the favorites to win it all. You better win. You haven't won since 1980. Oh, that's the past. It's just the truth. The past, present, and future, whatever it is, the truth. Pump the brakes a little bit. Let's see if you could take on Alabama and get them out of there. You're the favorites, but you never know. Now, Alabama's got to get there first. Now, the last game is Bedlam, Oklahoma State and Oklahoma. I love Oklahoma State's defense. Oklahoma, I don't trust. Cam Williams, listen, Caleb Williams is playing good. But what if he starts messing up and then you throw in Rattler? It's a kind of a mess. Then Rattler messes up, you put Williams back in, and there's no – if you're the team, you're like, okay, who do I put my faith in? And it feels like a mess. Oklahoma's been playing well. I think the chickens come to roost in Oklahoma State. In Oklahoma State, I think Spencer Sanders plays smart. They run the football well. Their time of possession is going to be a lot better. Oklahoma's explosive on offense. Okay. But being home, if this was in Oklahoma, I think I would pick Oklahoma to upset. I love Oklahoma State to take care of business and make things very interesting when it comes to the college football playoff scene. All right, this is the NFL report. I got to talk about the Cowboy-Raider game. That was a very interesting and entertaining game. I told the Cowboy fan, you got nothing to worry about. Raiders are in free fall. They look with their coach and their situation. They got talent, but they're ready to just shut this thing down. And they played inspired football. They got up 14-0, and then 14-6. And then they ended up 17-6. And Dallas comes back at the end of the half to make it 17-13. Okay, Dallas going to come in this second half, and they're going to take care of business because they really need this game. Waller's out. The Raiders are in trouble. No. The Raiders, and to their credit, in the third quarter, it's a 6-play, 75-yard drive. And Mariota, they run the option. It was a beautiful, unlike the Cowboys' ridiculous 2-point conversion, that was a beautifully designed play by the Raiders. But then the Cowboys come back on a Tony Pollard's 100-yard kickoff. I thought that was going to be a dagger because I think the Raiders are going to move on and win easy. But this is what happened. The Raiders come right back, and it was a 3rd and 10, I believe, and David Carr scrambled for the first down. To me, that was the biggest play of the game because it gave them, they didn't score, but it gave them an 8-point lead. So regardless of what was going to happen, they both played the field goal game afterwards, and then it was 30-22, I believe. Yes, 30-22, and that was when the Cowboys got their touchdown. And the Raiders had a chance when it was 30-22 to get a couple more first downs to put the game away, get a field goal. That'd have been it, and they didn't. I knew the Cowboys were going to come right down the field and tie the score, and they converted on the 2-point conversion because they gave the ball to Dalton Schultz. Dalton Schultz called a 32-yard touchdown pass, and Dalton Schultz pass catching tight end. They tried to have him blocking and catching the ball. Not smart. But to their credit, the Raiders come back down, get a field goal, and I said, well, it's too much time. The Cowboys came right down the field and got a field goal to tie the score. 10-play, 48-yard drive. And they were fortunate they didn't score. Then in the overtime, it was 2 important plays. Dak missing his receiver on 3rd down. If that and I watched this game, I said, if Dallas gets one first down, they go down the field and scoring and win touchdown. Because that's how their offense got in such a good rhythm. He misses an open receiver on 3rd down in their own territory, and they had to punt. And it was a terrific punt. But Carr was not going to be denied. He drove him down the field. It was a bad pass interference penalty by Anthony Brown, who didn't even play the receiver correctly, did not look back on Deshaun Jackson, who's been a factor. He's a nice pickup for the Raiders. And they ended up kicking the game-winning field goal. All right. Here's what we take out of this game. I love Derek Carr. Always did. I always felt like he was better than Lamar Jackson at this point because he could throw the ball. He could make all the throws. The way he could throw the ball down the field to go along with all the other intangibles. I think he has a better accurate arm than Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson get better because he puts so much work in to his craft. So I respect that. He's definitely better than Mayfield. Hubert, he's just older than Hubert. Hubert might be eventually better than he is. But out of the young quarterbacks, he's one of the best, if not the best young quarterback. And I love what he said after the Raiders lost. He said, I'm sick of this mess, man. I'm tired of losing. And he had that force, his will. You saw his will implemented into this game. And that's what helped the Raiders. It's going to help the Raiders going forward. I don't know if they're going to go into Kansas City and they're going to beat the Chargers at home because they got some tough games coming up. But this will be helpful for them because the AFC is just a log jam at this point. Now, the Packers and the Rams. The Rams have been ran on. They've been pushed around and beat up the last 2 games. Now, Von Miller will be more implemented into the defense. So I expected a little more pushback this week. You have to get Odell. Whatever Odell's comfortable with, he's got to be plugged into the system. If it's deep down the field, whatever, don't let him. To me, if McVay, I respect his coaching. So I would put Odell in spots that Odell's comfortable with at this point. The long, deep crosses down the field, what they do, those jet sweeps. So you have them running like a return, like a returner where they use him as a running back on those sweeps, or you fake the sweep and you get Cooper Kupp, your main guy, going. You have to do that in this game. I don't know what the weather's going to be, but it's probably not going to be that great in Green Bay. And the Rams want revenge. Green Bay beat them up last year. And Aaron Donald wasn't healthy. Aaron Donald's got to make some plays this game. Donald and Miller and Floyd, who's not 100%, has to come to the play and play well. For Green Bay, their secondary's got to do better because Cousins lit them up. If that's the case, Stafford knows Green Bay. So he hasn't had the best success in Green Bay. He's going to be motivated. He's going to look to play well. The Packers, Dylan's got to have a great game. They have to run between the tackles and just test to see if the Rams play with a little more heart on defense, because it was heartless the last 2 weeks, and they got too much talent. What I'm interested in is Adams versus Ramsey. Who wins that matchup? Because Aaron Rodgers is going to throw at Ramsey. It's going to be 3rd and 10, and it's man for man, and there's coverage on the other side, and they're not going to allow the others to beat them, and they're going to tell Jalen, listen, you got Adams, 3rd and 10. You man him up with no help. Can Rodgers go deep and beat Ramsey, or can he hit Ramsey with a crossing route where he could burn Ramsey? Ramsey is one of the best cornerbacks in the league. And you'll know who's going to win when you see if Green Bay could run the ball a little bit, which the Rams could say, oh, here we go again for a 3rd game in a row. And if Adams or whoever is going against Ramsey could beat him, or if they could give Aaron Rodgers, let Aaron Rodgers do what he does best. Or can Henderson and can Sonny Michel run it enough to give Stafford the balance he needs to burn the Green Bay secondary? I am picking the Rams. I am not 100% confident that the Rams could walk into Lambeau Field. I'm picking against Aaron Rodgers. That's not really the wisest thing to do, but I have a hunch that the Rams are going to get right, and that's my Super Bowl team. I'm staying with them. Now, the other games, the Colts versus Tampa. You know what this comes down to? This comes down to, I don't think that because Tampa has a pretty good run defense, I'm not sure that you're going to be able to just run roughshod over the Buccaneers. I'm not sure that Taylor can just go nuts like he did against Buffalo. That's probably not going to happen. They're home, but Tampa's defense is better on the run, but Carson Wentz, there's opportunities for them to make plays in the passing game. There's a game time decision with Devin White and Vita Vea. I'm just learning this here. That's huge. If neither of them can play, the Colts will definitely win without a problem. But the thing is, the Colts have the front 7. They're good on the line of scrimmage. This is why I'm picking them against Tampa. Brady's going to be Brady, but now you could put some pressure on Brady and get him off schedule. And they got the defense that can cover. Their linebackers can cover, and they can stop the run. And that's a beautiful thing if you're a Colt fan. But Carson Wentz, if those two guys are playing, you're not going to run the ball. Now, Carson Wentz is going to have to open it up. Carson Wentz is going to have to make some plays. Michael Pittman Jr. is going to be more important in this game than Taylor. And when you're looking at this game and you listen to this podcast, and like and subscribe, please, because I love the fans' reaction. I just love to give out content that fans like. And I try to be as truthful as possible, take out any feelings I have. I just believe that the Colts will win because it's not the best idea in the world, but I do have an idea that and a feeling that Carson Wentz is going to make some plays, enough plays in the passing game, because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers secondary is atrocious. They pass. I said they're the best pass interference team in the league, either holding or pass interference almost all game long. And I believe Carson Wentz will take advantage of that. Now, Tennessee, without A.J. Brown and Derrick Henry, going in New England, I love New England to win. Bud Dupree's not playing, so that you don't have the pass rush. I love the Patriots to take care of business, beat the Titans. Titans will have their fourth loss. And with the Bills winning easy, the Patriots and Bills are set up for that showdown. Bills are my team to go to Super Bowl. Next week, I'll preview that game, and I'll give you my picks. But right now, I love the Patriots to take care of business, to stay on schedule, to get ready for the Buffalo Bills.